Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out 19. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about women's college basketball. We're gearing up for the NCAA tournament. We're going to talk about the ratings for a little bit, all right? Because as you know, last year, especially last year, look, 23 and 24, but especially last year, a lot of Caitlin Clark mania, because you had her going after that scoring record, then another big run for Iowa into the finals of the NCAA, on to draft night and all that. But if you thought women's college basketball is going to take a nap after Caitlin Clark's 2024 mania, think again. It is wild, but the sport seems to be in great hands, and the numbers seem to be proving that. We're talking about record-breaking viewership. We got a bunch of budding stars that people are wanting to watch, games that are popping off. So let's dive into a little bit. And look, we're going to start with stating the obvious. Caitlin Clark lit women's college basketball on fire in 2024. She was like the Avengers level superhero, dropping logo threes, packing arenas. I mean, those logo threes, there actually is a logo on the logo three spot right now. 55, what was it? 55,000 when they played the outdoor game. I mean, can I even say Avengers anymore? Is that good enough for her? Because if we're talking about lighting things on fire, it seems like Marvel lit their whole franchise on fire. But it's a topic for another day. Let's get back to women's college basketball. Caitlin Clark has gone pro, but the spotlight is shining on new stars. Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles, Sonia Citron in Notre Dame. And by the way, she's got to get that absolute Citron endorsement, right? But there is that the big time trio from Notre Dame, not to be confused with the trio from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Very, very different trio. Lucy Olson, Lauren Betts, Tania Latson, Juju Watkins. The list is absolutely stacked of players that people are excited to watch. It's like Clark, she handed them that baton. She said, go get them, kids. And they're taking that baton. You see what I did there? All right. Go check out the crazy in my track attack video and you'll understand the baton reference. And the fans, guess what? The fans are absolutely showing up, not just in the seats. Yes, on TV too, as you see here. Sunday's UCLA USC Big Ten tournament final that aired on CBS, 1.44 million viewers, trailing only Caitlin Clark led Iowa against Nebraska last year, which, of course, Caitlin Clark mania, right? Drew an insane 3.02 million. That's the only one that it's trailing. Largest audience on record for that game. It peaked at just over 2 million. 2 million people watching a women's college basketball game that did not have Caitlin Clark and was not, a tournament semi or a tournament final or any of that. Not a fluke, babe. It's a flex. Women's hoops. Women's hoops did not just say, hey, Caitlin's coattails are gone. We're going to go back in our shell. No, no, no. They're building a dynasty on her shoulders. More importantly, building a dynasty with what seems to be likable players coming up, likable players free from the toxic history of the WNBA. Because you know what, the WNBA, they need to be emptied of that and restocked with something better. And what I'm seeing from these stars at the college level is something better. Let's get into we got other games too, right? I mean, if I think we've got the SEC title game, which was South Carolina and Texas, which pulled in, I think, 1.3 million. Yeah, 1.3 million for the South Carolina Texas SEC tournament file, trailing only South Carolina and Angel Reese's LSU last year, which did 2 million as the most watched edition of the game. So yeah, college basketball seems to be having the women's college basketball seems to be having themselves quite a season. Now, 2023, 866,000, right? So last year you had the whole Caitlin Clark thing. People wanted to know about what was going to happen if there was a rematch with LSU and Angel Reese. There was a lot going on. So are the numbers last year's numbers? No, but they're still big time numbers and an improvement on everything else. right? You've got ACC, Duke, NC State. Everyone expected Notre Dame. I would have liked to have seen that just to see what the numbers would have done. But even that hitting 833,000, up 23%. Big 12, TCU, Baylor, TCU with Hailey Van Lith and her comeback season, her comeback tour, 759,000, which was up 126%. It's a full-on transformation. Again, Big East, right? UConn Creighton. Monday night got 492,000 FS1, solid. But of course, the real gem was UConn Villanova the day before on Fox, 748,000. That is the most watched Big East semi ever, right? I mean, women's hoops may have just stolen the remote from the men's game. All right. Okay. That might be going a little too far, but it is definitely growing. And look, let's just zoom out to the whole thing in the regular season. ESPN network, so across their network, averaged 280,000 viewers per game, up 3% from last year, and the best since 2008, 2009. Now, keep in mind, it's important Caitlin Clark really didn't play on ESPN. There was no Big Ten deal for them, but it's still up, right? So I think that's actually a good comparison because you didn't have her last year, you don't have her this year, and it still grew from last year. So it is growing regardless. And ESPN, the bigger name, 511,000, which is up 13%. ABC, 3 games, they averaged 1.2 million viewers. Think about that. Well, remember, until this past year with Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, had not seen a million viewer game since 2008. 3 women's college basketball games on ABC averaged 1.2 million. Averaged 1.2 million. UConn, South Carolina, 1.8 million. LSU, Texas, 1.7 million. Those are not casual Saturday, nothing else is on, it's raining outside numbers. They're call your mom, get the Doritos and the dip. We're watching hoops numbers. So yeah, women's college basketball is out here right now proving it is not a one-hit wonder. It is a full album drop, an actual album too, not this digital crap. Vinyl does it better. Sadly, the vinyls in Unrivaled, not so much. Get back to indie, Aaliyah Boston. So what's the takeaway from all this, right? Caitlin Clark might have absolutely lit a fuse, but women's college basketball is becoming the whole fireworks show on their own. And we hope that these players that are growing fan bases transition into the W, make a name for themselves in the W and WNBA, and then that league grows. Because these games are pulling pretty huge crowds without Caitlin Clark. When you've got, Hidalgo and Betts and Watkins and Latson and Miles, these players are ready to shine. A lot of them seem very likable. The viewership spiking like my Wi-Fi, slowing after a streaming binge. So women's college basketball right now seems to be in very good hands, way better hands than Unrivaled. Think about that as well. Unrivaled, I've done a couple on those that, what is it? Last Saturday dropped under 100,000 for a game. I think they've hit 200,000 like once since the beginning of the season, other than the gimmicky 1v1 tournament. Well, anyway, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments below. By the way, who is your watch player in women's college basketball right now? Like, who do you say, hey, that player's on? I want to watch that. She's exciting. I like her game. I've got to tune in and check it out. Let me know in the comments below. What's the big name to watch? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really do appreciate all your support, and I will talk to you later.